Hi, it's Abby. I wanted to back up a couple of steps and I went into Claude and I looked at what I built first when I was thinking about building apps and using Claude. And so I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that if you would like to do something similar, you can follow these very specific directions. All right, so I'm going to flip over to Claude. And I put in the prompt, I'm interested in what vibe coding we could do together with Claude Code, but I'm not a developer. Great question. Vibe coding is actually blah, blah, blah. Claude Code specifically, what you could realistically build as a non-developer, personal websites and portfolios, simple dashboards, landing pages, calculators, trackers, organizational tools, prototypes, honest caveats to know. App builders like Lovable, I would say for sure, Base 44, Replit and Bold I haven't tried, so I can't speak for those. It says are often a better fit for people without a coding background because we don't want to have to go look up and use an API in order to be able to build apps, and I didn't with this one. All right, so it gave me that information about vibe coding. Now I said, sure, let's create a game plan that helps people decide if they should be using Claude, ChatGPT, or Perplexity for the immediate task or need they have on hand. And I did that because a lot of times people are trying to decide, is it ChatGPT? Should I use that? Is it Claude? Should I use that? Perplexity is another similar AI tool. Should I use that? Well, this quiz that I created in Claude helps answer that question. So that's all I gave it, right? I'm interested in vibe coding. Here's what I'm interested in creating. This is going to blow your mind. Okay, so which AI should you actually use right now? Let's find out. Okay, so it's going to give you this preview screen on the side that allows you to make changes over here in the chat that will reflect over on the right-hand side. But let's see what it put together with just those two tiny, simple little prompts. Okay, let's see. What are we trying to do right now? We're trying to create something. How recent does the info need to be? Well, I want it to be current. What does the finished thing look like? Let's see. Code an app or something technical. How deep do you need to go? I'm going to say moderate. How important is it to verify the source? I mostly trust AI's judgment. I want a quality check, but I'll check later. I need citations and proof. Depends on what you're building. All right, so it says my best match is ChatGPT by 42%, Claude 32, Perplexity 26. It explains why it picked ChatGPT. And it also gives me some other things to consider. So this was actually the absolute first application that I built in Claude. Now, I went in and asked for a couple of updates. Let me get back here. We talked about the two prompts. So the first time that I went through the quiz, I got Claude as the answer. The next time I went through the quiz, I got Claude as the answer. And I've actually had people, as we're developing apps, say, I don't want this to happen. I don't want it to be, no matter what you check, you get the same answer. So I pushed back a little bit on Claude and said, is it just a coincidence that I've gotten Claude as the best choice every time? Fair catch. No, it's not entirely coincidental. Then I asked, where's the link? And it gave me the link. How do you use this outside of Claude? Is there a subdomain created? Yes, it's an HTML file. I wanted it to remove all long dashes. I don't like the M long dashes. I don't like commas before and or commas before or that AI tends to put in there. Even when it's not grammatically appropriate, they're just all over the place. So this was the final product. Similar, let's try answering it something different. What are you trying to do right now? Solve a problem. I, of course, need the info to still be current. The finished product looks like, let's see, an email or document. It's going to be moderate. And we're going to say, yes, we want the citations. Okay, so this time, Perplexity got the leg up. 39% versus 34% versus 26%. And again, it's going to explain why. I have used Perplexity multiple times for market research, more deep research types of things, fact checking. And then, of course, you can also consider Claude and ChatGPT. The fact is, every time I've run this, it's almost 30, 30, 30, right? So they're very close in terms of what kind of results you're going to get. But again, those are all the prompts I used to create this first tool. And again, this first tool, I had to go in and publish the artifact after I created it. And then we could try a different task. It has that button to start over. And that's as simple as this particular app is. But again, I wanted to take you step by step, prompt by prompt, as I created this in Claude. All right, talk soon.